What's up, guys? Coach Ryan here. If you've been dealing with some excessive and consistent stress, this one is for you. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. My name is Ryan Sanders. I'm the owner. Coach Ryan here. If you've been dealing with and the owner and head coach of Project Fresh, and for over the last 13 years, I've helped people take control of their health, optimize performance, and build sustainable habits that actually stick. So, as a certified strength and conditioning specialist and a certified sports and nutrition coach, I've had the opportunity to work with everyone from athletes to busy professionals, coaching them through the science and the real world challenges of fitness and health. So here I share the stories, the lessons, and most importantly, the systems that make long-term wellness possible. Please excuse my got all these background noises going off. Apologize. So with that being said, going live has its aspects. All that being said, I want to talk about 3 different ways that we can prevent chronic stress. Number one, if you guys have been following us for some time, you'll probably realize and see this is a no-brainer. This is not going to be a surprise, and that's exercise. Now, when we say exercise, we've got to be explicit. That could be some people might think walking, some people might think playing pickleball or going out and doing activity or whatever it might be. Those are great things. There's nothing wrong with them. Going out for a run can be a great stress reliever. But I think I don't just think from what I've seen, from what I've studied, from what I have watched in my wife and my clients over the years. One of the best stress relievers in the form of exercise is going to be strength training. One, it's going to put you in a position where you're going to have to challenge yourself. 2, it's going to tax your heart, your lungs. It's going to get into hormones, work on those hormones. It's going to proliferate your central nervous system, get it going. All the things that come out of strength training, lifting weight, adding weight to the body and training in that way is going to create a response that's going to leave you feeling really good. It's going to really help address the blood pressure. It's going to address the nervous system. What shall I say? A heightened nervous system, right? Especially if you're always in stress. If you've been here before, if you've seen other people talk about this, the sympathetic versus parasympathetic, the fight or flight mechanism versus the rest and digest. We want to get you into rest and digest. We want you to be relaxed and at a lower rest state, especially at the end of the day. And so strength training, number one, I think is going to be very, very valuable. All right, number 2 is relationships. So we just hit F and we hit R in Fresh. We're going to probably go through a rebrand. Our Project Fresh will be a model, a system, more than a brand name, more than likely. And so we'll talk more about that in the future. But for the most part, relationship really does play a lot into our stress. That can be from friends, that can be from coworkers, work scenarios, that can be closer interpersonal, whether spousal or kids or whatever, or other, right? Just out and about. And so relationship, being around those who carry or hold the same goals that you do. We always talk about or see on social media couples goals, right? Couples working out, whether together or individually throughout the day, but reaping the benefits of exercise together. That is one great way to increase attraction. It increases your partnership, if you will, as well, your dynamic of being married. And with that being said, it's definitely sets you up for the intimacy, for the release of all the different oxytocin, the other neuro chemicals that can come from intimacy and connection, and dopamine being one. And so with that being said, relationally, it's not just obviously spousally, but relationally, addressing those relationships can really help with offsetting chronic stress, because that's where we can get a lot of our stresses in our interpersonal connections. And then third and lastly is our last piece. Now, a lot of people, I'll get right to it as far as what it is. A lot of people like to go with mindfulness and with meditation. I don't have a problem with that at all. I really don't. I don't have any issues with that one. I think if you're in a state of constantly being on, practicing coming down is really, really valuable. But that's not the direction I'm headed for today. I think as much as mindfulness or meditation or even prayer, I'm a believer in Jesus. Prayer is not always easy. Not always. This season for me has been one of those challenges where it's like, "What's up, God? What's up, Jesus? Like, what's going on right now with some of these different things going on?" But I want to shift to sleep. I think sleep, when it comes to stress relief, is one, under attack. Sleep is one of those areas that a lot of people have challenges with. But two, when you sleep, it allows you to recover both your mind and your body. And if your body is constantly having issues, if your mind is constantly having issues, you're just head to toe, always dealing with problems. Good rest is going to help address that. If you are stressed out because you can't lose weight, I would take a look at what your rest looks like. And you might be like, Ryan, I can sleep 5 hours and I'm ripped as all get out. So how does that apply to me? It may not apply right now, but wait another 5, 10 years and see how it goes. Just because you can't see it physically or physiologically outwardly manifest does not mean that it isn't having its impacts. Again, it's not just your physical appearance, it's your body's internal ability to operate and repair itself, as well as the mental side too. Now, if you still are like, no, I'm him or I'm her, and I'm like 1% or in the top 20%, okay, fine. That's your prerogative. That's your thing. If that's where you are, fine. That's cool. I had only one person I've ever come across in all the hundreds, if not thousands, I'm going to say safely thousands of people that I've come across that I've had this conversation with around sleep. Only one who actually happened to be a professional athlete, so he could get into the space of I'm him if he wanted to. Played for the Niners and some other teams. So this is football. He's like, no matter what, 4 hours sleep. Talked about it before. 4 hours was my deal. Didn't matter. Try to sleep more. Try to sleep less. Four was the sweet spot for me. And Kobe was another one. I didn't never get a chance to meet Kobe. I got a chance to see him play, but he's on the record for just not sleeping that much. But we see how much he was able to put into his career and be phenomenal in his sport. Now, does that mean that it just applies to athletics? No, it's an easy one to reference. But if we're talking about being a high level exec to high level entrepreneur, I was doing some research related to this, and I think this is why chronic stress came up for today's topic. Like, what's the number one thing, or what's one of the top things that impact men specifically? Chronic stress was very high up on the list, if not number one. And I think with that, it's okay. What about people who are mentoring others, right? Helping them come up in their space, community leaders. What about individuals that are musicians, artists of different kinds? Whatever it is that you're into, you want your body to not be hurting throughout. Let's say you're painting a big, you're commissioned artist and you have a big mural that you have to do. It's going to take you 20 hours to finish it. Do you want all 20 of those hours, your wrist, your hands, your knees, your back to be hurting you while you're painting that mural? Maybe you've got an orchestra that you're preparing for, and you're one of the wind instruments, right? And you have a diaphragm pain due to lack of strength that just constantly bothers you, and you're missing notes while you're playing. Do you want that to be the continued experience moving forward? Maybe it's, I don't know, digestive, gut health issues or whatever that's causing the issue. These are the little things that I've come across with the people I've trained, and it wouldn't seem a big deal in the context of the grander scheme of life. But if this is impacting your ability to do the things you love, the things that pay you, the things that keep you around the individuals you enjoy being around, then that becomes a slow drip. And if it's not a gushing river pulling you downstream towards the waterfall, it is most definitely a slow drip that's eroding that rock, that eventually there's going to be a hole through that rock, and it's going to be really hard to fill that hole up. So that being said, the solution here is, again, three things. strength training, exercise. Number two, really doing a serious audit on those relationships so that you have quality relationships that bring you alongside people who are like-minded and want to do these same things that we're talking about today. And then number three, protecting your sleep, having a sleep schedule, having boundaries set around sleep, having your alarm set, going to bed. I always tell people it's not about waking up that's the hardest point. It's actually going to bed that's the hardest when it comes to sleep. Getting to bed on time, the time that you set to allow you to rest the period that you need to wake up, feel refreshed, feel recovered, mind and body, and have that experience that you're looking for. So this is Ryan Sanders with Project Fresh. We do this every week, Monday at 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time here on YouTube. This one today was about how to prevent chronic stress. We'll be right back here next week for our continuation through June, the 20th specifically, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Hope you guys are having a wonderful one, a great day, and we will see you